I just got a couple more questions, but I guess one would be just for any up and coming people who, you know, just in terms of general advice to really help them thrive in the industry, like what would you recommend for people starting out just in terms of getting ahead?
Yeah, I guess for students and people just kind of starting out, I would touch back on what I said earlier about, if you're a creative person, try to punch up your technical skills. If you're technical, try to punch up your creative skills. I just really think that that's like a huge advantage. And it's usually more often it's like creative people who don't have the technical side. And I think the technical stuff, it's not as hard as you think. It's a lot more methodical and it's easier in a sense because in the sense that you can control the amount of it's up to you basically. Yeah. You can control the constraints, right? I mean, it's up to you as to how much you want to focus and learn, and how much you want to let that frustration take over instead. So I would just say that that's one thing. To touch on something you said earlier is to be somebody that everybody wants to work with, be personable, be open to doing take on as much as you can. Obviously don't bite off more than you can chew, so you do a bad job. But take on projects, take on stuff, ask for work. Don't just sit there and wait for it to come to you, because I think that's something that, when you're working in a studio, people see it. They want to see somebody who wants to do the work. So yeah, I don't know, just be happy to be there. Make cool stuff and be happy about it.
I think it's really great advice. Yeah, just in general too. I think that the more that people are aware you're around and you're hungry for work. Like I had someone just the other day frustrated that he's got this one task he's unhappy with, but he's not actually coming to me or anyone saying, hey, can I, what else can I'm doing this, but what else can I do at the same time just to keep my sanity or whatever. But if you just hide in the corner, no one's
just asking for, I think that's another thing, asking for help. And I think I will say, when I first started out, I remember kind of being like, oh, what if I ask a question and people think I'm stupid or something.
That's another great point.
You just have to get over it. And if there's somebody else in the room who's making you feel stupid, that person's just an asshole.
Yeah, that person's stupid.
That person's stupid. Just ask if you don't know something, don't be afraid to say you don't know. Especially if you're new, you have all the reason in the world to not know something, and it's totally fine. Because now you'll know it.
I think that's a really valid point to bring up as well, just in general, is that I think you're right that a lot of people do expect that they should have all the answers, and especially also I think it's counterintuitive that a lot of senior people think that they're in a lead or super role and therefore they can't ask questions, they should have all the answers. And I think the reality is the more that you're self-aware that it's okay for me to ask a question, it doesn't mean that I'm stupid. It's just, if anything, I want to actually have context and learn, no matter how far down my career I am.
100%.